Good evening and welcome to Virginia Tech Recreational Sports Esports Intramural Tournaments brought to you by 3304 Sports. As always, my name is Liam Sment and I'm joined by Twitch Chat's favorite broadcaster, Tyler Katz. And Tyler, last week we had the twos final. We had the ones final. This week, the 3v3 final. It's the most popular game mode in Rocket League and the standard for competitive play at all levels. What should we expect this week that we didn't see last week?
A lot more action throughout the entire pitch. That one series that we saw last week was a lot slower paced, a lot more high scoring. Threes is the exact opposite. Something's happening at almost every second of those 5 minutes of play, and the scoring is going to be a lot less than we saw in that ones matchup, more realistic of a soccer matchup. So even though there's going to be a lot more happening on the pitch, don't expect to be a lot to be happening on the scoreboard.
And you'll notice also that the games, because there's not as much scoring, means there's not as much stop as play. So you'll find that these games will fly by a lot quicker than it did in the ones or even the 2v2 tournament. Now, this matchup, we have some familiar faces. The Bean Boys make their esports game of the week return. Obviously, it's game of the week. It's championship day. They take on Wu-Tang. I can't even say that. Wu-Tang Land in the finals here, a 1 seed and a 2 seed going head to head.
Yeah, and this is our tightest matchup so far of either the ones tournament, twos tournament, and now the threes tournament. Finally, the tournament is all chalk instead of having a Cinderella story. So it should be interesting seeing the two best teams in 3v3 go head to head.
And last week we had some interesting matchups. Both of these finals ended 3-1, and they started very equal, trading games very early on. What do you expect to see from these two teams this week? I
expect to see a lot more catching up, a lot more panic from the team who loses that first game. As you said, there's not a lot of downtime in threes, and the games fly by. That's a lot less time to talk about strategy, to talk about how you're going to change your approach against a team. So I think we're going to see a lot more panic, especially in game 2.
And if you guys want to get in on this kind of action, you can. Season 2 registration is still open. You can go ahead and sign up at recsports.vt.edu for Rocket League, and we'll have Madden and Mario Kart for next season starting in just a week's time. So we're going to get ahead and get going here, getting ready for game 1 of this 5-game series like we had last week. So very similar layout to what we watched last week, but again, instead of having 1 or 2 players on the field for each team, we now have 3, which is, like we said earlier, the standard for pretty much all things competitive Rocket League as we are getting ready and kick off.
And we start things off a very nice pickoff win by the Bean Boys. But Wu-Tang Land putting it immediately inside, showing why they're the number 1 seed. And now a big threat by the Wu-Tang Land. And it's just stayed mostly around midfield. No formal attempt on the goal so far in the first 20 seconds of play, showing that slower pace, even though a lot more is happening. Brown, an attempted shot deflected by Bomax. Jelly Bean Milk, who's been so great for the Bean Boys, gets it over a defender for Wu-Tang Land, trying to put it inside, but Young Bruh knocks it away.
And right off the bat with these kind of games, you'll notice both teams are trying to settle in. They're trying to get a feel for each other, figure their teammates out, but also figuring the opponents out. So you'll find a lot of these midfield challenges early on.
So far, it's stayed primarily in the Bean Boys zone as the Wu-Tang Land tries to find the back of the net first. It's been staying more so around midfield. And again, like I said earlier, we've had really no formal attempts on goal yet, as it's mostly stayed just in front of the goal. But now Brown, a wall shot, saved by Young Bruh.
And that's going to open things up here, I think, a bit. Get that first, shot on target, start to figure things out. As Bean Boys have a chance here, they'll be looking to put it on target. But this will open things up. I think both teams are settled in. We were about a minute and a half in this game 1, and I think we'll see both these teams start to flex their muscles and get a little bit more comfortable in this game.
So far, it's been Jelly Bean Milk as the hero for the Bean Boys this entire time through their run through this threes tournament, and not only that, but in the twos tournament when they had the Bean Boys and the Bean Bros. Brown coming up through the air to try to knock it inside. but Cruel Worlds knocks it inside for Wu-Tang Land. Heading towards the goal, high arcing shot just hits off the crossbar. Wu-Tang Land escaped a goal for the Bean Boys. Wide open net that Jelly Bean Milk knocks away.
Strong defensive showcase here, and Young Bro puts that one away. I was just about to compliment Wu-Tang Land on their strong defensive performance. Bean Boys have been throwing a lot at them, and they've been able to hold up against them in a quick counterattack play there. Puts Wu-Tang Land up by 1. I'm struggling with that one all day, aren't I?
You're all good, but you're exactly right. Young Bruh finding the back of the net, and we're already almost halfway through game 1, showing how little the scoring goes through and how much it can affect. One goal can affect the entire game. Brown, a nice tip off the hood, puts it inside the Wu-Tang Land zone. Brown right there to challenge. He wins the 50. Jelly Bean Milk knocking inside, and just like you were saying, Wu-Tang Land, excellent defense, knocking away the setups that the Bean Boys have been giving themselves. Young Bruh finds the back of the net for the second time. Defense turns into offense for Wu-Tang Land.
And this is the opposite of what Wu-Tang Land's doing on their side of the pitch. They're controlling. They have players back. No matter what the Bean Boys were throwing at them, they had players back. In this situation, the Bean Boys had no answer for Young Bruh on the offensive side of the pitch. He might get a third here. Oh, he almost did, but they're just not back. They're not rotating well. They're not communicating well. Bean Boys have got to figure this out.
And this is, from at least what I've seen in our game of the week, the first time I've seen the Bean Boys look this vulnerable on offense in the terms of not being able to do anything, as Young Bruh has been the powerhouse for Wu-Tang Land as he tries to get a side hit to knock it back inside, but a nice clear by Jelly Bean Milk. Brown tips it up inside the Wu-Tang Land zone. Brown gets rid of Young Bruh with a quick demo, but spawns in almost immediately. Cruel World coming inside to try to knock it away. Staying inside the Wu-Tang Land zone for a long time now, and just 90 seconds to play and a 2-goal lead for Wu-Tang Land.
Big offensive
Centered
pressure here.
shot.
I think the Bean Boys are starting to find their pressure here. They're finding keep the ball on the offensive side of the third of the pitch, which is important. Seal boost, keep that pace up. As you see, Young Bruh is on 0 boost here. But if they can keep that up, though they struggled in this game 1. They have 4 other games to figure this out.
And so far, like you said, I think the Bean Boys are finding their groove, keeping it inside the zone, but they still haven't found the back of the net, and that's the most important thing in this series. 1 minute to go. They're down 2 goals. Brown tried to get almost a free kick out of that, but nice defense by Wu-Tang Land. Sassy Cat waiting. He fakes for Brown, but Brown, too much power as it hits high up the wall. Sassy Cat tries to rebound. Couldn't do much.
He's got to put that in the middle there, doesn't he?
And that's something the Bean Boys have struggled with early in this game 1, is trying to set things up and failing when they do get good setups.
Sassy Cat had all day in front of net and just couldn't figure it out. Really good chance there. Even, if he hits it off the backboard back to his teammate, that third man can come through and clean up, but he just put it straight and it's an easy clear there from Wu-Tang Land.
Couple of nice clears and deflections by Wu-Tang Land, as just with 10 seconds to go, it looks like the 1 seed in Wu-Tang Land will take game 1 of this 5-game series, barring a miracle. And indeed, it will be Wu-Tang Land taking the first game of the series as Young Bruh tries to add on to his statistics. Keeping it alive for a while, even though it's all but academic, more so for statistics at this point. And it looks like they do just want to get that 3-goal victory. Cruel World's a nice tip-up. Almost finds the back of the net.
They almost did there, man.
They were almost taunting the Bean Boys there at the end with just 1 second left. They had the win in the bag, and they wanted to get that 3rd goal in. But a great first game for Wu-Tang Land.
Yeah, that was an incredibly defensive performance. Like I said earlier, they had their rotations on lock. No matter what the Bean Boys threw at them, they had players back. They had players in position to get clears and move the ball back forward and get those counterattacks. Young Bruh had such an outstanding game. He had 2 incredible counterattack goals that were a lot of times look easy, but being in the right position, knowing where you need to be and how you need to be there is very difficult. And having that mental knowledge and fortitude is what really made the difference for Wu-Tang Land in this game.
On the statistics side of what the game keeps, only 2 official shots on goal from the Bean Boys, something that we're not used to seeing with them. We're used to seeing Jellybean Milk and Brown really kind of take the game and dominate on the offensive front. Wu-Tang Land just simply shut them down.
Yeah, I mean, when they had their chances, they weren't great chances. Wu-Tang Land was only forced into one save the entire game, meaning one shot on target, and that was saved by Youngbro. Again, an outstanding game for him. But you expect this team like this, and they settled in every now and then. And sometimes it takes a game or two to really find your footing. I think Jellybean Milk and the Bean Boys are really hoping that is what this is, that game was a settle-in game to figure things out, figure themselves out, get the communication working, and now they know what to expect from this Wu-Tang Land squad. As we go into game number 2, we kick off as Jellybean Milk will challenge here against Cruel World, and Cruel World will win, just like they did in game 1. The center here gives Youngbro the chance to make it 3 in 2 games, and he can't quite do it, just 8 seconds into the smash. Cleared away to the opposite opposing corner, and Jellybean Milk may have a chance here to put in the center, but he can't beat it over Cruel World. He did a good challenge, good clear out to the middle. Oh, a tough save there from Brown. He's going to get bumped, and they're going to score. What a funny little redirection there was. Cruel World went for a great bump on Brown to get him out of the way. He ends up almost saving it, but the shot ends up going in, and right off the bat, just 20 seconds into this game, Wu-Tang lands up.
Yeah, and that Cruel World stole a goal there, just kind of tipping it into a ball already going in the net. The savagery within the Wu-Tang Land itself is insane.
It's been an incredible showing from them so far, and that's a statement first goal from them. If Brown's going to be able to push them forward, but it's a statement goal saying we're not done. We're here to continue. You may have figured it out. You may have got your footing in game 1, but we're not going anywhere. Bomax tries to put this one forward. Sassy not a great clear. It's going to have him a chance to score, and they will. Bomax makes it 2 in just 50 seconds so far. Sassy he's got to do better there. That clearance doesn't do anything. I mean, all it does is really a pass for Bomax, and he's not going to miss from that range. He's 6 yards out, 88 kilometers an hour, top right corner, 2-0 Wu-Tang Land. Quick one. Bean Boys have got to figure this one out, Tyler.
Yeah, especially when you leave a ball that slow with players of this skill set. It was almost a guaranteed goal for Bomax when he saw that ball slow down thanks to Sassy Cat.
Big save there from Jellybean Milk means it won't go down 3 for the Bean Boys, but they're looking to find their way out. So far, it's been all Wu-Tang Land holding them down in their offensive third. Sassy Cat challenge now. He beats Cruel World. He's able to push this one forward a bit, but Brown gets met again. Sassy Cat has a chance to clear here, but Jellybean Milk goes up and does it himself. Only as far as Youngbro, but he misses. Sassy Cat has a chance on net, and he whiffs. That's a big one. Sassy Cat's been nervous, it seems, in his finals here. Not really making connections he should as Jellybean Milk pushes one off the backboard. No third man there. Sassy Man does reach. Shot on goal, but it's a slow one. Easy saved by Youngbro. Push now. Jellybean Milk keeping the pressure on. It's a good shot. Bomax is equal to it. Brown now with the rebound. The shot. Oh, he's got to put that on one target. It's missing. Sassy Cat finishes. An incredible pressure. Incredible goal there from the Bean Boys. That is exactly what you need to do to rebound in game 2.
And all 3 members of the Bean Boys touched that ball to get different deflections, get different rebounds. Finally finding the back of the net really shows that teamwork is what the Bean Boys are going to need to defeat Wu-Tang Land instead of an individual game. And
that is what we grew to learn from the Bean Boys this season is offensive domination. Just taking over the offensive side of the field, taking your defender's boost, passing the ball, making it relentless, so no matter how many times you save a ball, there's another player coming to make a shot. And now Youngbro looking to extend the lead after a great goal from the Bean Boys. Jellybean Milk is there to save it and clear out wide. Sassy Cat should have a chance here. He does. Great pass out for Jellybean Milk. He should be able to get a touch on this. He does, and he scores. Outstanding deflection, and the Bean Boys have tied this one up.
And welcome back, the Bean Boys offense. It's been a while since we've seen them, but going through the air, confusing the opposing defenses, that's what we've gotten to know from the Bean Boys, and it's great to see it back here in game 2.
And that was a pin-perfect pass there. And, I mean, that's everything you want. Sassy Cat struggled so much in the early goings of this game, and now he's got an assist, a goal right away. So, I mean, what a turnaround from him. And right now, he's the MVP for me in this game. Now, Jellybean Milk's going to push this one forward to the corner. Youngbro there in defense. He's going to be able to knock this one, but only as far as Brown. Keep this one. The pressure going. Again, a big pressure game. Steal boost. Make the defense really work to try and get out. Cruel should have a chance there, but he never really went for it. Double commit there from Bean Boys might mean that Wu-Tang Land gets out, but Jelly Bean Mill, great positioning. Pass there to Cruel World. He's going to have a chance on net. He misses that. Jelly Bean Mill will get a good clear. So Max meets. Young Bro with a good touch towards net. Sassy Cat's going to have to do something here. He misses, and Cruel World punishes. We have the lead for Wu-Tang Land again.
And this is what Wu-Tang Land has done so well. They've taken mistakes that the Bean Boys have made and capitalized on them. The last two have been on Sassy Cat with attempted clears that have just missed, and they take advantage. And so far, it's been 3 mistakes for the Bean Boys, and you look up and see 3 in blue for Wu-Tang Land.
Yeah, Wu-Tang Land really hasn't had that many chances on net. They're not creating the pressure that the Bean Boys are doing. Right now, I'd say the Bean Boys are more successful and just really better team on the offensive side of the ball, but they're making too many mistakes in the defensive end, and they're being punished for it. Sassy Cat can push this one forward. Good bump there. It means there's some clearance and time. Jelly Bean Mill splits this one towards net, but no one there to follow up the score. Bro's going to take to the air, but met by Brown. We talked about how well the Bean Boys play in the air. They showed that there with Brown, a good challenge. Cool World's going to try and make a move to the Wu-Tang Land, and Young Bro's going to capitalize and push this one towards the offensive side. Brown with a big boom. Means that the Bean Boys might have a chance to go on the offensive foot, and they do. Bomax a good clear. Sassy Cat a bit out of position there. Means he won't be able to get the chance he wants. Cruel worth a shot. And Bomax is there to finish it as well. They double lead. 50 seconds left. And Wu-Tang Land just came back exactly the way they started this in Game 1 and in Game 2.
And that was almost like a dance between Cruel Worlds and Bomax. They kind of spun around each other, had a double hit. Unfortunately, one of them can be credited for the goal. But huge teamwork from the Wu-Tang Land to give them a 2-goal lead with under a minute to go.
And that's big. If you can take 2 games out of 2, you set yourself up with match point. 3 games, 3 wins. That's exactly how you want to do it. Get that clean sweep and get out of here. But Brown is looking to stop that as much as they possibly can. They've got 30 seconds. They got a lot of work to do. But a big pinch, no one back, and that's a free goal. Bomax scores. Outstanding defensive stand, and we're seeing it again from these guys.
Yeah, and I've mentioned it before. Wu-Tang Land turns defense into offense, especially Bomax. That's the second time he's done it this series, putting them up 5-2. One thing we haven't seen in this championship series in 1s or 2s was a series sweep in the championship. Could the Wu-Tang Land get it done in 3 games?
They're looking like they're going to do it. 3 wins on the horizon. 3 goals for Bomax in this game as he's got his hat trick in Game 2. Which is 8 seconds left. There's all but no chance as Wu-Tang Land is going to take a consolation goal here from the Bean Boys. They'll make it 3-5. But, at the end of the day, up by 2, 3 seconds. It's been done before, but I'm really not going to bank on it. But an outstanding performance. Again, just emphasizing on mistakes from this Bean Boys squad.
And that's one thing we haven't seen from this Bean Boys squad before, are too many mistakes, but just seems that maybe the championship series pressure might be getting to them because we are seeing them make a lot more mistakes.
And a big Game 2 victory means that Wu-Tang Land is now on match point. Tournament point here. If they win this one, it is all over. They get their shirts and they get to go home champions. 3 outstanding goals from Bomax means that these guys have it all going. We talked so much about it. Defensive mistakes from the Bean Boys. They had some great pressure. That first goal they scored was one of the best offensive performances we've seen from them and anybody all tournament, but they can't turn it around into a victory.
And the Bean Boys, they frankly lacked in that first game on offense, only having 2 official shots on goal. They got shut out in that first game. So to come back, score 3 goals, get a lot more shots on goal, it looks a lot more promising for the Bean Boys, but it's just stop the mistakes. Wu-Tang Land is capitalizing on the mistakes you're making. Just get your head in the game, stop the mistakes, cut the bleeding.
Yeah, and Wu-Tang Land 4 saves in that game on 8 shots, where the Bean Boys only had 2. When they gave up chances like that, they didn't have anybody back to make the save. They didn't have anybody back to stop any chances that Wu-Tang Land threw at them. So they need to be better in rotational movement, especially on defense, if they have any chance in taking this one and pulling off the reverse sweep.
And not only that, but the first championship series sweep. Wu-Tang Land, the 1 seed versus the 2 seed. You wouldn't think it from the way the teams have played so far. It's just been dominance from Wu-Tang Land as we are underway for a potential tournament winning game for Wu-Tang Land. Starting off through the air is Brown and Bomax. Both of them are going to miss through the air as it goes inside the Wu-Tang Land zone. Sassy Cat hits it off the corner, trying a setup, but Young Bruh knocks it away. Brown keeping it inside, and this is what the Bean Boys do so well, dominate in their offensive side of the field. But when Wu-Tang Land turns it around, you need to watch out. Young Bruh had a shot on goal, cleared away by Jellybean Milk. A nice save. Jellybean Milk tries to turn it around, but Bomax is right there. A battle in the corner. It's a 2-on-1 in favor of the Bean Boys. Jellybean Milk up. Slow pop-up, but Young Bruh knocks it away.
Right away, we saw a lot of exactly what the series has been defined by. Bean Boys putting on a lot of offensive pressure, knocking in a goal, and Wu-Tang Land taking a mistake and a counterattack, almost scoring off it. I mean, this is exactly what you expect from the series so far.
And it's been the Bean Boys aggressive, but their aggressiveness has come back to haunt them, and we saw that in Game 2. Can they turn things around in Game 3? And so far, it's been all Bean Boys everywhere except for the scoreboard in the first minute and 15 seconds. Sassy Cat too high off the back wall. Brown tried to aerial inside, didn't get the angle he wanted. Gets over to Young Bruh to clear it inside. Hits to the right of the goal. Young Bruh now going to go through the air, trying to spike it inside. Over the top wall. Good chance here. Bomax strikes off to the left side of the goal.
And a lot of chance there. They're pulling it off in the air. They're fighting each other, and they're creating chances. Someone's just got to put one away. No one's able to make any really great chances on net. And the only one seemingly doing it right now, the Bean Boys, but and a good chance there. And there should it be it. Yes, it is. Bomax scores, but that's the breakthrough that these guys needed in Game 3. This is the worst nightmare for the Bean Boys right now, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just whatever you do offensively on your side of the field simply isn't working. You try to get those deflections, and then on the other side you see Wu-Tang Land take deflections, get rebounds, and find the back of the net, something that you haven't been able to do. Brown going to challenge, but loses to Bomax. Sassy Cat right there at around midfield to knock it inside. Brown trying to go through the air, maybe a little too much as Jellybean Milk hits the ball on the ground. Jellybean Milk through the air, tried to tie it up, but missed. Bomax with a nice clear. Sassy Cat keeping it inside the Wu-Tang Land defensive zone. Jellybean Milk, a reverse bicycle kick off the crossbar.
You got to put those away. I mean, I know it's ridiculous chances like these, but you got to put them away. But everywhere that this Bean Boy squad goes, they're being met. 4 saves already in this match from Wu-Tang Land. Outstanding defensive performance again.
No discredit to the Bean Boys defense as they've kept Wu-Tang Land off the scoreboard many times, including Brown going up high to make another stop. It's almost a miracle that Wu-Tang Land has only found the back of the net once so far in the first 3 minutes of this game. Brown will chase after the ball in the corner of his offensive zone. Sassy Cat right there to back him up after the miss. Sassy Cat in the corner, but a nice clear by Young Bruh. Brown centers, but no one's there. Bomax trying to turn defense into offense like we've seen them do before. Cruel World through the air, and it's back inside the Bean Boys defensive zone, and the Bean Boys struggling to clear now. And a 1-goal lead for Wu-Tang Land, and will 1 goal be all they need? Young Bruh, a nice challenge there to the right side, over the top. The Bean Boys looked panicked to try to put it in the back of the net, and it was to their fault where they couldn't find the back of the net. Brown, a nice challenge, but Young Bruh wins.
They need to be. I mean, this is do or die for them. They need to throw all players forward, get everything they can to at least find 1. They need to find 2 in this game if they have any chance of continuing this series. So expect to see a lot more space on the defensive side of the half for the Bean Boys because they need all hands on deck on offense here.
It's a 2-on-1. The only one was Bomax for Wu-Tang Land, who wins the challenge. Sassy Cat, the only person there for the Bean Boys, but coming flying in is Jellybean Milk. Young Bruh trying to set up a teammate. Bomax strikes to the left side. Brown and Sassy Cat team up to clear it away. Brown with a demo on Young Bruh, but isn't enough time as he's waiting right there at the defensive zone, and with just 35 seconds left, does Wu-Tang just sit on it?
They look to be. I mean, with all they've done on the defensive side of the ball, they have no reason to push forward. They can take these Bean Boy attacks all day long, but sometimes, vice versa to what we were saying earlier, offense sometimes is the best defense. Keep it away from your goal, they have no chance of scoring.
Jellybean Melka flicks. It's the only person there who's Young Bra. Beautiful aerial save, and that might be the championship-winning save by Young Bra. Bomac puts it inside. 5 seconds left. It's do or die for the Bean Boys right here, right now. Can't let the ball hit the ground. It does, and Wu-Tang land a series sweep to win the 3v3 championship.
What a dominant performance from these guys. Such a well-deserved championship win for them. I mean, all the way through these entire games, it never looked like they could slip up. They had a few moments there where the Bean Boys were able to find the back of the net and tie things up. Right away, they recovered. They bounced back. They held defensive stands once again. They figured out the rotations, and they scored back-to-back goals. And then they win game 3 in such a dominant fashion. All you need sometimes is that one goal, and that is exactly what they got to win this championship.
And it was a dominant effort by Wu-Tang Land. We saw the entire time taking advantage of mistakes, turning defense into offense. And simply, the only time the Bean Boys were able to do anything was in game 2 when they put 3 in the back of the net. But other than that, 2 shutout wins by Wu-Tang Land in games 1 and 3 to secure the championship and the intramural t-shirt.
In just these last 2 games, both these games, Wu-Tang Land had at least 4 saves. This one having 4 exactly. 3 of coming from Young Bra, who for me is one of the MVPs for me, if not the MVP of this entire series. What an outstanding play from him. He scored so many goals, was on the defensive end, including, like you called, that outstanding, unreal, championship winning save with just 10 seconds left from a booming shot. What an unreal performance from him this series.
Wu-Tang Land doing a great job of shutting down the combination of Jellybean, Milk, and Brown. We're going to talk with the captain of Wu-Tang Land in just a few moments, see what was going through his mind in those 3 games for that series sweep.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what they were thinking in those moments. What was going through their minds during the game, and how to deal with this kind of pressure. It's not small scale, it's not RLCS, but there's so much built up here. You spend all season long playing these games, and again, it's a 1 versus 2. It's a chalk game. This is the best 2 teams in the tournament, and so to go out in such dominating fashion and beat the number 2 team in the tournament, it's got to be an amazing feeling. So I'm very excited to see what they have to say for that. In the meantime, while we're waiting on him to join us in the booth, we'd like to remind you that Season 2 registration is still open. Go ahead and get yourself in on this action, and maybe we'll see you on the big screen. You can go ahead and do that at recsports.vt.edu and get signed up for, again, we'll have Rocket League Action 2. We'll have Rocket League in Season 2. We'll have Madden and Mario Kart are our 2 brand new additions. We'll have our post-game, post-season, post-championship winning interview in just a few moments after this break. Welcome back to VT Rec Sports Intramural Esports Championships. We just watched Wu-Tang Land dominate the Bean Boys 3-0, a series sweep, and our 3v3 championship series. We have Nick Duvall, Cruel World, with us, the captain of Wu-Tang Land. Nick, talk to us a little bit about what was going through your mind. How did you guys prepare for this championship series?
So early today, I was talking with my team, and actually one of our teammates was taking a test right up until about 6:45. So there wasn't a lot of team preparation the day of, but a few of us got on a little earlier, just got a few games in, get in the mindset of, hey, we're in a championship tonight.
A big part of your win, and we were talking about this on broadcast, was your defense and how you were able to turn a stop on your defensive side of the zone and immediately turn that into goals. Was that something that was part of your game plan heading into that, or was that something that was just clicking for you this series?
So heading into it, we weren't planning on being on defense as much as we were. But during the second game, I know I was definitely speaking up a little bit more, saying how we need to keep the rotation solid because the Bean Boys kept pounding us on offense. And so we just wanted to make sure that we were solid on defense and then catch them on the counterattack.
And you guys caught them a lot on the counterattack. Was that something you guys anticipated coming into this game, or did you guys really plan on pounding on the offensive backboard like the Bean Boys did to you guys?
So we knew the Bean Boys were probably going to be our toughest competition in this tournament. So we knew we were going to be on defense a little bit. So I think that mindset definitely helped us out. But the counterattacks just kind of came and went. We took them as they were.
And just like that, they took them as they were, and they took 3 straight games and sweep the Bean Boys to win the 3v3 Virginia Tech Intramural Championship in Season 1. We want to thank you guys all so much for watching on behalf of Virginia Tech Rec Sports and 3304 Sports. We're so excited for next season and next week to start right off the bat. Again, I've plugged it so much. I'm going to plug it again. You can sign up and be part of the action. Go ahead and sign up at recsports.vt.edu. Until next week, I'm Liam Sment. I'm joined along Tyler Katz. Good games and congratulations to Nick Duvall and the entire Wu-Tang Land. We will see you guys next week.
Thank you.